Welcome to Emotional Intelligence Simplified. This is a weekly podcast focused on demystifying and discussing what emotional intelligence is. Demystifying what emotional intelligence is has become the main agenda for Profiles International as they continue in their quest to molding cultures. This podcast seeks to explore the everyday story through the lens of emotional intelligence. We discuss the key elements of emotional intelligence that allows people to connect with others, collaborate effectively, and make more effective decisions, whether at the workplace or in our personal lives. Join us as we explore with our guests the elements of emotional intelligence and other key areas such as well-being, creating safety in your area of influence, growing each day in resilience, and so much more. I am Angela Muhaki, an emotional intelligence practitioner and coach, and also a professional mediator and broadcaster. Welcome to Emotional Intelligence Simplified. I am Angela Muhaki, and today we're privileged to have with us Vicky Karuga from Profile International. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Muhaki. Always a pleasure.
It is, I know. And today we have a really interesting topic to talk about. And it has me asking myself all kinds of questions. So we said one of the essential elements of emotional intelligence is awareness of others. Now, when you talk about awareness of others, is it like a superpower? I can look at this one and read them. How does it work?
Kusoma watu.
Kusoma watu. Because saying awareness of others.
Yeah, it's actually more mundane than you think. And I think you see it all the time. And I'll give you an example. For example, the kids, children have studied their parents very, very well. They know their moods. They know their emotions. They know when they're likely to say yes, when they're likely to say no. And in fact, that one kid who's not aware of that parent gets they have a very hard time figuring out what they're doing wrong. And they keep being told by the other, shh,
what's wrong with you?
So that's where awareness of others starts, from as basic as when we're kids and we're studying the people who have authority over us. We're already starting to be aware of their patterns, when they're likely to engage with us, when they're not, when they're in a mood for certain things, when they're not, when mommy is upset with daddy, and therefore I know
I can play them.
Exactly.
Gongana.
Exactly.
So kind of like you're saying it's almost instinctive.
If you choose for it to engage in it, it is an instinctive thing that we have. But you know what?
Others are clueless in Nairobi.
Yes, because we're so busy chasing things and not understanding why things are not working. I think we shared in the last podcast about just how busy our lives have become. And this thing called the phone means that I'm not looking at you, trying to really see you, trying to really listen to you. I'm thinking about my agenda, looking at my phone, and then I'm talking to you, not getting what I want, not wondering, okay, fine, is there something else besides this conversation that we're having? I like to talk about salespeople, really good salespeople. In fact, the number one thing that makes them successful is how often they listen. And they don't listen to tell you something back. They listen to understand where you are.
So they listen from. Not to reply, but to understand you.
Yes. Remember, a sale is very important to them.
Yes,
there's a target, there's a bonus, there are many things attached to. There's a livelihood.
Attached to this listening.
Yes, attached to me selling to Muhaki.
Yes.
So there's a very, very compelling reason why I should listen to you.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. So when there is no compelling reason why I should listen to you, I do not pay attention.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yes.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
To me, about me. Oh no. Who do I listen to and why? So it's all about what's in it for me.
It always is. It always is.
So awareness of others is being able to now maybe look at the person. Like you said, how the child can tell today mommy's in a bad mood or daddy's in a bad mood or teacher today is not happy. So kakando. So that's what it is.
That is what it is. So,
but when you say awareness of others, it sounds like some huge, big mumbo jumbo somawatu kind of thing.
Like I remember I was watching this Engaged by Carol Musioka, and it's actually very funny because she talked about the way she went for a date with this guy. She was very young, and they sat through the whole movie of probably a few hours. And then at the end of it, she's like, boy child, missing cues since 1980. The boy came for the whole movie, left without even giving so much as a hug to Carol Busioka. So anyway, it's in the public domain. You can watch it on YouTube.
Wow. So no engagement.
Yeah. So again, awareness of others.
And I think maybe having expectations sometimes and you haven't expressed them, like maybe she thought that an ideal movie date, a guy should maybe, I don't know, say something in the middle of the movie. And then the female mind and the male mind.
They're very different.
We're very different. He is sitting there thinking, what's wrong with this guy? Him saying, wow, that action is serious. So I don't know. So what, like maybe I'm waiting for a guy to open a door. He's never had to open a door for anyone. So how do we deal with awareness of others and how do we make it work for us?
So for instance, one of the ways of starting to develop this skill is to ask questions. So getting feedback. So for example, if I notice you don't open the door, I first notice that you don't open the door. So I don't become upset because you don't open the door. I first have to notice you have not been opening the door. Now, let's assume that I'm also self-aware. So I know I like my door being opened. Yeah. So my own happiness revolves around a door being opened for me. Yeah.
You're making it sound very okay.
But instead of transferring that happiness to someone else because they're not opening the door for me, I have two options. One, I could open the door for myself.
And still be happy.
But two, I feel happier when someone else opens the door for me.
So what? Tell them, please be opening the door.
So ask them why they're not opening the door for me. And listen to understand, not to poke holes in that theory. You never. No. So why aren't you opening the door for me, Mwehaki?
Because we have never opened doors. People go as they please.
It really makes me happy when you open the door for me.
Chicks, lesson 101. Declare to the gentleman exactly what your thoughts and wishes are.
Yeah, and
actually
listen
don't
to
assume.
him.
Well, you do. It does make some sense because if I'm just sitting there thinking, what's wrong with this one? Why won't he do this? But you haven't told him.
Yeah, and you're busy cooking
and people
stories.
are supposed to be mind readers.
Yeah, so you're just aware of the stories in your head. Those are the ones that are playing in your head. They're taking up rent space in your head. But it's as simple as being aware that, okay, this person is not coming and meeting me at this level of.
But have I communicated my level, my expectations?
Have I asked? Have I asked so that I can understand? It could be that, they've never opened doors. 2, he thinks guys who open doors for chicks are wusses, all those things. So you begin to understand more about this man that you want to open the door for you. So he's like, okay, so why do you think they're wusses? It's not a point of argument. It's a point of understanding so that if it causes him that much aggro, so you have another choice to make. Is this happiness of the door very important such that it's going to make you not go forward with this man that you have?
Because we've watched it in the movies and he can see everybody opening doors. Why isn't he opening them?
Yes.
So awareness of others is also understanding that they may not come from your perspective.
Exactly. In fact, they talk about the science of forming opinions. I may form my opinion from facts. So I can tell you things like, 70% of men in the world open the door for their women. So you're among the 30. Why can't you be among the 30? And I'm making my mind from that perspective. I'm thinking, more often than not, a man will open a door for a woman. But then someone else is looking at it from a moral issue. They're saying, you know what, if you're a man enough, you should be opening your door for a woman. And someone else is thinking about it in terms of efficiency. I just got no time to open a door. So we are all approaching a problem from different
So
points.
It's like a cube. There are 6 different outlooks depending on who you are and where you're standing.
For example, at work, this happens all the time. So you're told to do something. For you, you don't have the time. But for someone else, they could be approaching it from church, In our church, it goes against my religion. So the two of you can't meet because this one is approaching it from a church perspective. You're approaching it
from a job perspective.
Yeah. So you have to be aware that other people have different opinions to find out where is the other person coming from so that if this thing is important to you, how you're going to find a compromise.
Now you've brought us to that. So how do we become aware of others? What are the things we need to look out for or develop?
Okay. So the first thing is that you actually have to try and be curious about other people. And this comes easier to introverts than to extroverts. I think it explains itself because introverted people keep more to themselves but are more curious about why people do the things they do, possibly from a self-preservation point of view.
Really?
Yeah, they are. And even if they're not engaging, they're looking, they're understanding, and they are trying to make sense of what's happening. Extroverted people will tend more to engage directly, so they're feeding off what they're getting.
Aha.
Yeah.
I get that. So one, we need to be curious.
You need to be curious about people.
But curious with boundaries.
Yes.
We think about what you're going to ask and how you're going to ask it. And is it appropriate?
Yeah.
Because some people are billa chills and billa skills. They'll ask you anything anyhow and you're like, where? Do I know you that well?
Yeah. But if you're naturally curious about people, there are people high in what we call not social awareness, but they have an interest in the welfare of people. It comes in. I mean,
They know how
you've
to
met
do
them.
it.
Yeah, they're like, hey, so perhaps you should look for a coach or someone, or just someone who does it really well, and just ask them for one or two pointers. Remember, as I always say, that it is a skill. It's like doing math.
You just have to keep practicing to get better.
If you want to do it. That's the other
That's
thing.
the catch.
Yeah, because a lot of the times we have put a lot of weight in our knowledge, in who I am, in what I carry, and what I'm able to do. And we stand up and say that should be enough. But that is not enough. It is never enough, especially moving forward in the world that we're finding, where there's so many people who know. You're not the only one.
Exactly. You need to diversify.
And you need to collaborate. You need to work with people to get to the things that you want in life, to get the work done, to get your spouse collaborating with you, to get your children,
your family, colleagues at work.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So now, we started with let's be curious. What's the next thing we need to look at?
You also need to understand what your strengths and your challenges will be when it comes to people, when it comes to being aware of people. So, for example, like I said, if I know that I'm largely more shy, then I know that I'm not going to confront people easy. So what would be the other way that I would do it? So perhaps through friends would be one way, or I prefer having gatherings where many people and I'm hearing people talk about themselves, understand who they are, what they do, things like that. So there's a lot in terms of, but first you have to come from a point of strength.
So know who you are, how you fit in, what your role is. So I'm comfortable with people, yes, but then I don't want too much engagement.
Yeah.
So space it out. If you're an introvert, maybe meet one-on-ones, preferably to bigger crowds.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah. And then if you are building this curiosity with people, take it in small doses. So don't, go bang out.
Tell me your life story now.
Yeah, start with small things, very, very small things. And then if you are aware of your strengths and weaknesses, you also know where to draw your boundaries. So, for example, you're a person who's not very good at conflict. So where is your boundary when that comes?
You'll avoid arguments at all costs.
And which is also another problem we'll talk about another day. But not today. So, yeah, such things.
Okay, so now we're looking at, so you need to, of course, know your weaknesses, your strengths. And from there, what else do you need to learn to be able to be, aware of others?
You also need to learn to let go, because most of the time when we seek to know people, we wear the hat of a judge inadvertently. I mean, it's who we are. If you're not like me, then you're either...
We're trying to put you in a hole or
Yes.
a something.
In fact, clearly put, we're trying to judge whether this is good or this is bad. And by that we mean, is this good for me
Or bad for
this is
me.
bad for me? And so therefore, can I label it as good or bad?
So do I like Vicky or don't I like Vicky?
Even that doesn't even come to the issue. Like, what is Vicky saying? Already, I don't even know I don't like you.
You know or you don't know?
Sometimes we make decisions because we don't like people, but we don't know it's because we don't like people. But we know they rile us up the wrong
There's something
way.
just about them that gives you, okay, that one, yeah, there are people you meet and the vibe is wrong.
Yeah. So
Just
we
you don't
say.
feel comfortable.
So we say.
So now we need to put that aside and give them a hearing.
Well, you need to first, for yourself, realize that you could be right, you could be wrong. So the openness of mind is very important in terms of just getting to understand people. As I'm saying, don't be a judge. When I listen to you telling me this and this and the other about yourself, it's, let go. Just listen and move on. Hear to understand. And understanding, I don't mean you're listening and saying,
not analyzing and saying,
No.
I can see there is a problem from your childhood. No. We're having a conversation in the here and now.
Yeah.
I'm just to listen to you.
Yeah. In fact, that's it. Most guys just want to be listened to. But if you're thinking about now, we're talking about this specific skill called growing your awareness of others.
Yes.
So the same way we talked about in self-awareness, that you have moods, you have emotions, and this should be points of reference, of data for you to realize why you're doing certain things, why that's impacting people in a certain way. So in that same breath, you're looking at people to understand what could be their driving, what are their moods? What could be their emotions? Is it the right time to tell them something?
Yes.
Is this the right, the right forum? Are these words that I'm going to use actually going to be effective on this particular person, or are they going to be lost on them? For example, someone who's very assertive, you can be assertive with, because for them, assertion is normal.
It's normal.
But you use the same kind of assertion with someone who is not as assertive, then most likely you're having them retreat back into
They're feeling intimidated, threatened.
Yes. So being aware of even other people's personality style becomes very important in terms of being effective. So in here, the word being effective is what we're talking about. So if I know that Mwihaki is a very detail-oriented person, and I've observed that she likes her work perfect, then why would I give her 5 seconds to give me a report? It will stress her beyond. And then I judge her with the same merit as someone who does work faster, because for them maybe perfect is not the thing that rules their world. It's the goal.
It's a speed.
I need to finish in 1 day. So for me, I need to finish it right. And we are different like that. None of us is perfect. Actually, we all like perfection and we all like speed. We're different like that. So having that deep understanding, and which is why assessments really helps you even when you're managing people around you to understand, okay, fine. Now here, this is the negotiator. This one is the one who'll come into a room and will rally people up, and we will go and meet and the donors who and everything. Fine, they might not do the work because deadlines are like a suggestion to them, but they do the work of creating energy in a room, which doesn't come easy to everyone else.
And everybody's differently skilled. Because I remember reading something and it really stuck on my head. And this guy was talking about how a friend invited him to go and watch a play. And he went and watched the play. And he was like, "What's one of the worst plays I've ever seen in my life?" So at the end, now you go and you say hi to your friend. So the friend was like, "Hey, what did you think? How was it? How was it?" And he's like, "The lesson I learned, considering the mood and everything that was there, was able to tell her, it was very nice to see you on stage. I liked how you delivered." Then he waited. They met like a week later. That's when he said, "By the way, that was the worst play I've ever seen." And then now he explained it. And he was like, sometimes we have to be aware. Look at this person's situation. What's happening today? It's a big day for them. Are you going to start telling them it's the worst thing you've ever seen?
Exactly.
So look for the positive and force it. But now the next time you meet and you can have a critical discussion, explain what you felt. And I was like, whoa, how many times do we do that? My head was like, almost never. So I guess, awareness of others is extremely important so we can dance with other people. So we said, don't hold mistakes, don't judge. So what else are we looking at?
Don't seek perfection in other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, learning to let go. And it comes a lot easier when you grow older.
I agree. I second and third that motion. I think you slow down. And life has chapered you character development. You've been panel beaten, so you're a little more cautious. You take more time. And you've made enough mistakes. So you
forgive others.
Yes. That's when I can give a testimony. It's coming from me.
And then this thing about also being aware of people who are manipulative, people who are toxic. I don't like using the word toxic, but that's the trend.
Is there another word for it?
Well, there should be. I feel like toxic is like, putting someone in a big box like of neutral, of chemicals and things like that. But you find that there are people who are able to handle these people very well. I mean, they're able to stay in the same space with them and deal with them and put them where they belong. So why can't you be that person? My energy has been drained. You can actually be the one in control of the relationships around you. So being able to neutralize a relationship that you think is not working is another skill as well that comes from awareness of others. So when someone starts speaking in a particular kind of way, you're able to say,
let's not go there.
back up. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you also have to have the courage to do it. But the more that you learn, the more that you're able to now handle the situations better, because you're not now being blindsided because you don't know what's going to come next. Yeah. And
but slowly you've started reading patterns in people.
Exactly. You're reading the room, you're walking in, you're reading the room like your friend. You're able to understand, okay, I shouldn't say this here because it is not the right forum. You're aware of what's happening around you. I shouldn't say this. For example, I'll give a very, very simple example in the workplace. We have an appraisal, and you know that some of your colleagues did not get a raise. Okay. And then you got a big promotion.
And you're singing.
And then you come and shout, like, hey,
I got it.
Exactly. And even if it's
your
fair,
right.
It's your right to do it.
Yeah.
But it's rather insensitive to all the other people who didn't get whatever it is that you got. So how about you receive the thanks, guys, because guys will congratulate you anyway. Thank you. And then go celebrate with your friends. Because at the end of the day, how you make people feel determines whether they engage back with you.
Exactly. And it will affect your future interactions with them.
Yeah.
And wow, I wish we would remember that in more situations. How are you making the people around you feel?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty tight as we look at it. Now, what else do we need to think about when we're self-aware? So we're not going to try and compare ourselves. We're not going to try and be perfect. We're also going to try and take cues. So what do we do? So so the ideal person who's self-aware, what do they have? What do they possess?
Self-aware or aware of others?
Aware of others, I'm sorry.
Okay. So here also I have to make a distinction, because people who are also aware of others can also be very toxic, because they become
know
aware.
The impact.
Yes, and they know the buttons to push, and they know the things to say. So awareness of others can be misused, and I'm sure guys have seen it happen, where people are able to manipulate situations and crowds and things like that. So these are people who are also highly aware of other people.
Maybe I could give an example without getting into trouble. Like politicians. No one can throw stones there. You come and rally people up, say all the words they want to hear.
Yeah.
And then you don't deliver.
Yeah.
So that's one of the negative things about people who are very self-aware.
And aware of others.
They know how to hype you and get you into that frenzy, and then they disappear.
Yeah.
Or it's like those guys who come and get crowds up and excited.
Yeah.
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 Or preachers who suddenly promise you miracles that cannot happen, but yes, they psych you up until you're committing to. That's how people join cults, actually.
Yeah, actually. That's how people join cults. And that's why emotional intelligence doesn't end in self-awareness and awareness of others.
No, there are so many other components.
There are other components that now make it into that person who's actually fair-minded, able to use that particular skill to the benefit of all parties concerned. And one of the other things, possibly, that can make you also understand whether you are curious about other people or whether you're trying, is discomfort. So, for example, discomfort.
Explain. Why am I needing to feel discomfort?
Well, when people are going through hard emotions, what do?
You're uncomfortable. True.
Yes.
Discomfort comes in. It checks in seriously.
Yeah. What's your nature? So you're aware. So have you moved the next step, which is how do you support them?
Support them or me? I'm the one who's discomfort.
No. They're the ones going through something difficult.
Or like somebody going through a tough time. So that brings us logically to the next level, which is now self-awareness and empathy. What is empathy? What is the difference? Because you're saying, can you help them through? So it brings in things like, I'm hearing words like empathy.
You need awareness.
Sympathy.
You're talking about awareness of others.
Yeah.
Awareness of others. People who are highly aware of other people come across as empathetic because they are great listeners. They anticipate you accurately. So like I can already anticipate the kind of responses I need to give you. I mirror you. So your experience with me is pleasant. Even if I'm giving you hard feedback, it's pleasant.
Because
At
I
the
know
end of
how
the
to
day.
talk to you.
Exactly. I can anticipate the kind of support that you need. I have allowed myself to grow in supporting people. Not always, it's not for everyone, but I speak about this especially in terms of people who want to grow to be leaders. Because when you're a leader, you can't choose the type of emotion you're going to support.
True.
You're not going to choose the happiness emotion. You're
Or
not
the
gonna
people you're going to meet.
and you're going to find that as a leader, your work is primarily to support people to deliver on their results. So you're not delivering, you're supporting people.
You know, that's a switch because people think leading is about you taking the stage and being the one to shine.
Nope.
So, but actual proper leadership is what you're saying, supporting people.
Yeah. And so
getting them to deliver.
Exactly. And so you have to be aware of the situations people present. And you can't pick this one and leave the other if you're to give wholesome support to every single person. Otherwise, what will happen is this thing we're talking about, diversity and inclusion,
will never happen.
It will never happen. And the reasons why it's important is because you cannot have people that think like you. That is a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely.
So you need to have the complainer, you need to have the enthusiast,
the happy-go-lucky, the very detail-oriented.
Oh yes, you need all those people because they all bring something. And when we're thinking about tackling real-life problems, they bring something to the table. And as we have been listening to what people have been talking about, we listen to Simon Sinek. You were telling me right now about Brené Brown. I was listening to Julia Skipngetich about a week ago, talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in today's world, if you're not being told things by the people that you work with,
then there's a problem.
There's a problem. You're losing out. And it's only a matter of time before whatever it is that you're doing boils over.
And the problem is you.
Yes.
Because you don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we need to look at empathy now.
I think empathy is a whole new topic.
Okay.
Yeah, that goes on. But I would also like to add that when we are aware of other people, it is also important to be aware of how other people make us feel. So self-awareness, awareness of others means that I've met Mwehaki and she keeps, like a itch somewhere, I don't know where it's coming from, but that's it. And you know what that thing is doing for you? It's preventing you from having or moving forward in a certain, whatever that is. I don't know what that would be. And I'll give another example.
Okay.
So I have this bad colleague at work. I mean, I hate their guts and I imagine I never have to work with them ever. But this person has the ear of
to the boss.
Very simple.
I have to find a way around.
I keep telling myself, I can't compromise my values by talking to so-and-so or whatever other reason you give for not working with this person who you feel that there's some friction there or something or the other, you lose out on an opportunity to get
to the next level.
Maybe. So you might find another channel that's okay, but that's great feedback there. Why aren't you, what's the problem? You would find that sometimes it's as simple as something she said. It could even be that she reminds you of someone. As simple as that. It could be that she has a lifestyle that you envy. But
that means you have to be conscious and sit back and ask yourself why.
And you have to do it. Like I always say, don't judge it. If you're envious, you're envious. Just say, me, I'm envious. Me, I like this cheek box. It's easier because then you move on. You're able to be like, okay, fine. Now I have to find a way to talk to her. Hey, but then I like you. I like. Oh, and another thing.
But how often, in fact, no, we need to stop there first because how often do we ever think of solving problems like that? We don't.
We haven't been trained.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we need to think about how do we get ourselves like, why does Julius just make me feel like running away? What is it about
him? We haven't been trained.
We weren't taught about, facing our issues.
Yeah, facing your issues. And most of the time they come from inside. And that's why we're saying that if you have that emotional awareness, you'll start understanding or realizing when something really needs your attention. Yeah.
You wanted to give me another illustration?
Yes. People who are highly aware of others appreciate others. Let me tell you, every single time I walk in and I tell people when I'm training that one of the easiest ways to manage people is to make them feel appreciated.
Yes.
Most leaders are like, why should I make someone else feel appreciated? Kwani, what have they done? where I can't just keep saying, I can't appreciate someone if they haven't done anything. They have to do something. May I don't just give compliments just for the sake of being compliments. No. So I'm like, really?
What's your problem?
So when do you give? No, but it's a real thing. When do you give compliments? I give compliments when work is well done. So I ask, so this person that you're giving compliments when the work is done has nothing else good
that
about
to offer
them.
you, or you like, yeah.
So one time I get into a training and I find a gentleman standing outside, and he was getting into the same training as me. And when he says, hi, so you must be Vicky. I said, yes, I am. My God, what a lovely shirt you have on today. It looks so nice on you. Imagine. Nothing else. I was like, gosh, what's your name?
You became the pet of the day.
Yeah, what's your name? We became friends instantly. We didn't know each other. We collaborated well. We were able to mirror each other. It was the perfect training. And I was worried. I was like, oh my God, now this person, I don't know. How am I going to handle this? Because we're just called in or just told, just come. So, all those
the tension went.
But the tension went. That is what appreciating other people does. It makes them know, I'm here to talk with you. I'm not here.
I acknowledge you.
And I acknowledge you. He didn't, the shirt, fine. The shirt was really nice. But, he didn't say anything out of the ordinary. Something very simple. And that was it. That was the end.
I'll tell you an experiment I decided. I told people, there's always this saying, you catch a lot more flies. I don't know why people want to catch flies, but you catch a lot more flies using honey than vinegar. So I told myself for like a month, I'll say hello, sorry, excuse me, whatever, to everybody I meet. It changed everything.
It did, didn't it?
It has started, as in wherever. It doesn't matter whether it is I'm going to buy a cup of tea, or it's the person you want to buy credit or whatever. You're like, hi, how are you? You start there. And then when they finish, you say, thank you.
I see you.
Let me tell you the friendships that and doors that have opened since. Now it is a habit.
It is a habit.
I mean, it's continuously, but it really makes a difference. I've noticed even when you just say thank you, because they've done this or they've done that, people change.
Yeah.
And even the next time they see you, how they handle you is so different.
Yeah.
And I realized that all of us want to feel that we're present. I need to feel that I'm acknowledged, that you can see me. So yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just minding your P's and Q's is enough. Excuse me. Don't just walk in, oh, sorry. It makes a lot of difference. I like that.
It does.
And I need to get myself a shirt people can talk about.
But you see, EI simplified.
Yeah.
It's nothing
it's
like
the things you can do every day. I
mean,
I remember once I told people, look for the hardest people to say hello to. So traffic, policeman. I'm like, habari yako? The guy looked at me like, what? I'm like, hey, sasa. Unaendeleaje? That time he has blocked us. And he's looking at me like,
unanijua?
He's wondering, do I know you? I didn't know him for Adam, but and I'm like, hey, thank you for the work you do. The guy smiled.
Yeah. Madam, enda.
But just saying hi to people who know the watchman, the who. It makes a difference.
Do you know the best customer experiences for me when I visit any place is the watchman?
Because that's a guy who
that guy makes or breaks. When I enter there and the guy is happy, he's opening the door, he's telling me, come in here, we're going to get your ticket like the bank. Vis-a-vis the other one.
Looking at you like,
And I think they need to teach all of them, because you can imagine you as you have a shop somewhere.
Yes.
This experience here at the gate has already
determines whether people come in or not.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because I'm already upset. I'm like, what the hell? So, and another place you'll enter and the guy will come, he'll show you, go here, sit down here. Someone is coming to serve you. He doesn't do anything out of the ordinary.
But it changes your attitude.
Kabisa.
And it's true.
Yeah.
So we need to think about how we affect and And you're right. There need to be more training on some of the people that corporates and organizations don't train. Who is your first person of contact?
That is my first person of contact. That
is
one.
The watchie and the waiter.
And the receptionist.
Now, if they're looking at you, Nunai, like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we can see why self-awareness and awareness of others is important, so that we can all be able to engage and, make a proper difference. So what are we looking at next? I think we need to
go into empathy.
Empathy is where we're going next. So now there's empathy, there's sympathy, there's compassion. What is the difference between all of them?
I think that's a very long topic for...
But let's start with an empath, because we've almost gotten there. You said you're walking in this person's shoes. Yeah. So now, I think we're teasing what the next one is going to be about.
So let me ask you, what is sympathy, Mwehaki?
I don't know. Why are you turning it on me? Sympathy is, I feel pole sana.
Pole sana.
Pole sana.
Yes.
And she kept quiet. Vicky, what is sympathy?
Sympathy often comes across as, I'm sorry for you. I'm
Pole
sorry.
sana.
I'm sorry for you.
Sorry
Gosh.
for you. But that's not what we mean.
Well, but the
That's
actions.
how it comes out,
yes, it does. Empathy is, I'm here for you. There's a difference.
That's a very clear distinction.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
I'm sorry for you. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes you are sorry for someone. Let me just be honest. You didn't see that one coming. No. But it's true. There's sometimes you're like,
that's not what I want you to be. I don't want you to be sorry for me.
No, but I'm just saying that's how it starts.
Yeah, but
eventually you now know. First of all, like when you hear something, so the first thing is like, okay, I'm sorry for them. Then now you wake up and say, okay, now how do I support them?
Yeah, but you know what that works out like? Is like you're coming to see how sorry you should be for me.
No. Okay, fine. I take it. It's out. Somebody has
it's
to
already
say
out.
It's out.
It's already out.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So we have to learn.
Yeah. What makes sympathy? What makes empathy? And sometimes some of the things that we do, we don't know we're doing.
Unconsciously.
And also because it's what we have seen. So we have been...
conditioned?
We've learned. You know, like we say, we learn language because we talk. So I speak to my parents. I speak to people around me. I listen first. I listen to what they're saying. So I'm able to speak out what I've heard. And so I learned language. So even all these things we heard, we listened, and then we practiced them. And we got affirmation. So we thought they were the way to go. But
yes,
they're not
because most
the way.
things we've done out of habit. Actually, yeah, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, and monkey get affirmed, monkey continue.
But if monkey gets spanked, monkey rethink.
Monkey stop. Monkey reflect.
And say, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Actually, it's true.
Of course it is.
No, it's just put me back like in primary school. You know how when kids are naughty and rambunctious?
Yeah.
And once the teacher gives you a look or your mother, you'd be like,
yeah,
and
something.
you chill out and you're like, we need to think this through.
Yeah. So
let's look at that from the sympathy perspective. So it's no longer I feel sorry for you.
You will see. But the rest of the classmates are, some of the reasons I think why we don't even want to do bad things is because we don't want people to feel sorry for us.
Or people to
just
laugh at us.
Just putting it out there or laugh at us.
Or look at us like, wait.
Yeah, don't be embarrassed.
Hurts to be you.
Yeah, hurts to be you.
Yeah, most of the time. Shame on you. It's a bad place to be right now, man. Yeah, because we want to feel we fit in. Oh wow. Hey. How we are seen is very important. Yeah, now that's why emotional intelligence comes in. Because are you doing things because you just want to fit in the group? Because then we could be doing very, very unintelligent things. Like they say when people think in a pack.
Yeah.
We go south.
Yeah, but remember we shared at the last episode, we talked about why packs are formed. It's because there's a lot of relational trust. And the pain you feel from being outside of the pack is actually a lot. You feel it. So most of the times we
just hang on together for the sake of being together.
No, it's pleasurable. Well, it's actually pleasurable.
That's why it's pleasurable to support football teams that never win. I'm not saying anything. We're going to World Cup season. I had to bring in some football. So we suffer together.
Yeah.
Us guys. Those guys don't even know you exist. But anyway, that's me and football for now. Let's move back to...
Mwehaki have a lot of bile. You have to come for a session.
That's not bile. I'm sharing. I'm just sharing.
You have a lot of bile.
So you've said it's the pleasure of hanging together.
Papana,
that's why I brought in football.
I'm giving you a session.
Okay, thank you. I'll come in for a session, definitely. But no, see, you have to give relatable examples. Mm-hmm. How come you got it when I said it? So are you a supporter of a club that never wins? Because the way it has touched you and made you offer therapy, I got you. So I'm sure even the guys listening are relating.
I'm married to a person who supports her, I think, but they started winning recently.
Yes, they're winning right now. I have siblings who support the same team.
Yeah, something.
So I get it. But I had to bring a relatable
Experience.
illustration.
Next illustration.
Yeah,
of
and you
what
said it has
happened.
just clicked like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Snap.
We are a tribe.
There we go.
We're
Yeah.
a tribe.
We belong.
We're proud to be Kenyans. And when you go out there, you're proud to belong to Kenya. There's a pleasure point there.
Yeah, or like how we are on Twitter. Don't mess with us.
Yeah. There's a
KOT.
pleasure point there. Yeah. So if we still go back to the premise of we still judge situations like we did very many thousands of years ago.
On pleasure and pain.
On pleasure and pain.
But I hear that's how our brain works.
Yeah.
Our brain relates to that. We either enjoy it or we run away.
Yeah. So you have the self-awareness bit is to help you also unpack this pain bit.
And manage it.
And also see perhaps you are reacting instead of thinking through and responding better. Yeah.
Yes, so that we stop this responding and reacting.
Yeah.
So that we start doing more of responding rather than reacting. Hey, it's an English class now. So yeah, that's what we're looking at in empathy, that we don't want to be sympathetic.
No.
We don't want to, I feel sorry for you, but actually that was an eye-opener. So we need to think about our words. Well, that is what we're talking about on Emotional Intelligence Simplified. And you need to come in for the next session, because this one we're really going to get into what is empathy, what is sympathy, what is compassion. We want to hear your thoughts. Please get in touch with us. This is Emotional Intelligence Simplified. And today we had with us Vicky Karuga from Profiles International. Looking forward to having you on the next episode.